Sometimes a game reveal pops up and it looks way too good to be real. You watch the trailer and go, yeah, there's no way the final game looks like that. Here are the 20 game reveals that look too good to be real. Pragmata is one of Capcom's more mysterious projects, and that's honestly what makes it so interesting. The first reveal showed an astronaut exploring a quiet, futuristic city where gravity behaves in strange ways. Debris floated, and a robot-like girl appeared to guide, or maybe protect the main character. Capcom hasn't given a lot of story details, but the footage suggested a world where something went seriously wrong with Earth's physics or environment. The astronaut and the young girl seem to be connected in some emotional way, hinting at a narrative that's more character-driven than their usual action titles. The visuals stood out early. Capcom is using the RE engine, and you can see it in the lighting and facial animation. So while we still don't have an exact day or month, 2026 is the official window.
There you are. All better.
You patched me up?
I am DI03367. They are pragmatic.
Whoa, hang on a second.
I said I am DI0...
Okay. Look, how about we call you Diana? I'm good. Get behind me!
I think I can help.
Targets identified. Neutralizing threats.
Neutralize us?
Looks like we're gonna have to fight our way through. What the?
Bypassing first and second firewalls. Hooking control protocols. Initiating hack.
Am I dead?
Oh, yes. So, this gauntlet is for you. You pop this on, you get the power of the Oni, and you'll be back topside.
I walk the path of the sword on my strength alone. I don't need some monster's power.
The power of the Oni is all that's sustaining your life. That's an Oni gauntlet.
Musashi! Gun me! This thing's made me so damn strong.
Musashi, save this world.
If I take this gauntlet off, I'll be a bloody mess on the floor anyway.
This isn't what you promised, Gauntlet.
My troop was attacked, and one of our members is missing.
Guardian!
Hey, Musashi!
Onimusha Way of the Sword is shaping up to be a promising revival for the series, especially after years without a mainline entry. The reveal trailer showed a return to the classic blend of samurai action and supernatural elements, but with a modern presentation that feels sharper and more grounded. The story seems to follow a new protagonist rather than bringing back Samanosuke or Jubei, which suggests Capcom is trying to expand the Onimusha world rather than retell the same arcs. The game focuses on a new protagonist who carries a blade tied to an ancient curse. The reveal hinted at slow, deliberate swordplay mixed with the series' classic demonic elements. There's no exact release date yet, but the team mentioned they're targeting a launch window in the mid-2026 range, so there's still time for more updates. Crimson Desert is an open-world action RPG that's been in development by Pearl Abyss for quite a while now, and the recent updates show it might be worth the wait. You play as Cliff, trying to lead the Greymanes and survive a world on the edge. The scale alone caught my attention. What stood out in the latest announcement? It now has a firm release date of March 19, 2026. The team also showed a trailer with a 13-minute gameplay sequence where you ride horses, use a grappling hook to climb cliffs, and fight intense bosses. The visuals and mechanics looked polished, which helps justify the hype. If you're into action games with a large world to explore, mechanics that mix melee combat with traversal, and a story that promises both myth and war, Crimson Desert is looking like one to keep on your radar.
There are beings who brought chaos to Providence. The rifts they have created will return everything to nothingness. We seek to correct this.
I have my own mission, seeking out my remaining comrades.
What I can tell you now is that this mission will restore the disrupted providence.
It had the kind of reveal that instantly made people question if what they were seeing was actual gameplay. The trailer opened in a filthy, half-collapsed building with dust and debris moving in a way that looked almost too physical for a first-person horror game. Then the creatures showed up. Their movements were messy and unpredictable, like something half-formed, and the way their bodies reacted to gunfire looked more like a movie effect than a game system. The devs at Team Cloud have talked about focusing heavily on physics and body simulation, which explains why the trailer looked so wild. Even so, seeing that level of destruction and enemy reaction in a reveal made people wonder how much of it will survive to the final release. Whether the final game hits that level or not, it delivered one of those reveals that made everyone double-check the trailer just to see if it was real. Black State had one of those reveals that made people double-check if the footage was really gameplay. The trailer opened with this slow shot of a ruined American town, and it all looked way more detailed than anyone expected from a first-time project. Even the character animations felt unusually smooth for an early showing. The game is being developed by an indie team called Phoenix Fire, and according to recent updates, they're aiming for a 2025 release window. What surprised everyone during the reveal is how polished the lighting and environments looked for such a small studio. The trailer showed a mix of stealth and tense shootouts inside abandoned buildings that felt almost like a blend of survival horror and tactical action. Whether the final version matches that reveal or not, Black State definitely earned its spot among games that look almost unreal at first glance. The Blood of Dawnwalker had a reveal that felt different from most new game trailers. It didn't start with loud music or big explosions, just quiet shots of the world that slowly pulled you in. The game is being developed by Rebel Wolves, a Polish studio formed by ex-Witcher devs, with a planned 2026 release on UE5. The first look showed Cohen shifting between his human form in daylight and his predator side at night. There was a quick staff strike inside a ruined chapel. Nothing was overdone, just small, clean moments that made you wonder how much of it was actual gameplay because it looked that polished. What stood out was the tone. The team mentioned they want the game to lean into choices and freedom. How you move, when you fight, how you deal with the whole hunger versus humanity angle. It's still a ways off, but that reveal was strong enough to make people stop, replay it, and think, yeah, this one might be special.
I don't know. How?
I am life. I am death. I am everything in between. I have been watching your little valley. Pestilence, famine, killing, blood spilt carelessly like water. Things will be different now. For all of you.
可到头来，争不过荒凉一梦。也罢，你我识君之路，分君之忧。长生的事儿还得用心去办，速去速回吧。
Longevity Yin and Yang had a reveal that landed with the kind of confidence you don't see often. It opened with this calm, wide shot of ancient China, and just enough detail to make you lean in. It's being developed by 11 Games, a studio out of China, which definitely explains the lighting and the way the environments reacted during combat. They described it as a 40 to 50-hour action-adventure set during the Ming Dynasty, and the whole idea of chasing immortality. What made the trailer stand out wasn't just the visuals, but how smooth everything looked. The grappling hook swings, and the way the camera followed the action without getting messy. It felt like a team showing what they want the final game to be before talking features or making promises. If anything, the reveal had that too clean to be real gameplay vibe, but in a good way. Like the studio wanted to show the personality of the game first and explain the details later.
A long time ago, there was a village here that disappeared during a festival, and people who get lost in the woods are called to the village. Do you think this is... What happened?
The ritual will begin soon.
Everyone's dead. Mia, no, stay back, run away. Fatal Frame 2.
Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly Remake didn't try to shock you right away. The reveal started quietly, with Mio and Mayu walking into that forest like nothing's wrong. But the moment the camera drifted toward the abandoned village, you could feel the tension settle in. It's the kind of trailer where you already know things are about to get bad, even before the first spirit shows up. This remake is coming from Koei Tecmo and is planned for March 12, 2026. The reveal showed a mix of updated tech and new touches, sharper lighting, smoother character movement, and small gameplay additions like upgraded camera obscura controls and the new holding hands with Mayu moments that make the story hit harder. If this remake keeps the same energy as the reveal, fans are in for something special. Creepy, emotional, and polished in all the right places. Canyons dropped a reveal that looked like someone took end-of-the-world visuals, turned them way up, and then quietly walked away, letting the world speak for itself. This upcoming 4-player co-op looter shooter is set in a post-apocalyptic canyon wasteland, where survival means more than just shooting. The trailer showed massive crawlers, sharp dust storms, and a world cracked by extreme weather and collapse. You saw squads moving through gargantuan canyon walls, scavenging, upgrading machines, and fending off creatures that didn't behave by normal rules. What made it pop was how it combined looter-shooter mechanics with moral choices. The game implies your decisions matter, even on what feels like a grind-heavy co-op contemporary. If this keeps its promise, Canyons is shaping up to be something fresh, big, chaotic, stylish, and polished.
大唐还在的时候，丝路上的灯火从西域一直亮到长安，能点亮天上的星河。
大唐离我们太远了，神佛还会庇佑河西吗？
我是认真决定的，我还是想再试一次。今日 们所流的血，是为了把大唐带回来。
Blood Message had a reveal that felt more like the opening of a movie than a game trailer. It starts with a simple shot: a father and his son walking across a quiet desert, heading toward Chang'an with a message they're risking everything to deliver. Once the trailer shifted into gameplay, that's where things really popped. You see close-quarters fights and old Tang-era towns that look way sharper than you'd expect from a first reveal. The visuals felt almost too clean, which is why a lot of people replayed it to check if it was really UE5 running. It's being developed by 24 Entertainment Studio, built on Unreal Engine 5, and the reveal made it clear they're aiming for a grounded story, not just action for the sake of action. Blood Message could easily be one of those titles that surprised everyone by looking a little too good for a first showing. Cinder City had one of those reveals that made everyone pause for a second and go, hold on, is this actually real? The trailer opened with this wide shot of a burning downtown district, and the way the smoke and lights moved looked almost like a movie scene. What made it hit harder was how the trailer moved through the world, the kind of detail that usually gets dialed back later in development. A lot of people instantly wondered if the team was teasing something beyond what current hardware normally handles. The devs, Emberline Studios, a pretty new team, said the game is targeting a 2026 release, which explains why the reveal looked so polished. They've been working quietly for a few years, and it shows. Cinder City came out of nowhere, looked almost unreal, and had everyone replaying the trailer just to check if they missed something. Pioneer caught my attention with its reveal for good reason. The setting. A massive, post-apocalyptic Soviet-era island with radioactive zones and anomalies. What stood out in the reveal is the mix of PvE and PvP modes done in a big open world. The map size is reportedly over 50 square kilometers, which is huge even for an MMO. They also announced a separate Shadowlands extraction mode, giving it more variety than just standard multiplayer. Developer GFA Games says the game will launch in 2025 on PC and consoles, and they're building it on Unreal Engine 4 with a team of over 100 people working across the project. If you're hunting for game announcements that feel like they're shooting way above budget and hype, Pioneer deserves a spot on your radar.
Time. For some, it heals. For others, it wounds. And for our world, it promises only oblivion. Our hopes lost long ago. But you...
Code Vein 2 showed up with a reveal that honestly looked way better than anyone expected. The first trailer dropped you into this overgrown, half-collapsed city with neon lights bleeding through the ruins, and the animation looked way smoother than the original game ever did. Bandai Namco confirmed they're the ones developing it again, and the current target is a late 2025 release. According to a few interviews after the reveal, they rebuilt a lot of the systems instead of just upgrading the old ones, especially the character animations. You can see that in the trailer when the main character snaps into those flashy counters and transformation moves. What really got people talking was the co-op segment. 2 players sprinting into a boss fight with different weapons and blood veils made it look like they're giving more attention to teamwork this time.
I faced my past. Let's go.
Resonance: A Plague Tale Legacy showed up with a reveal that felt almost unreal in how smooth everything looked. The trailer starts slow, the main character walking through a ruined village covered in fog. And the detail was so clean that a lot of people instantly wondered if it was really in-engine footage. Asobo Studio is making this one too, and they mentioned they're aiming for a 2026 release. After the reveal, they talked a bit about using an updated version of their tech to handle lighting and large crowds, which explains why the environments looked so polished. They also said this isn't a direct sequel, more like a new story in the same world, with different characters and a different point in time. If the final game keeps even a chunk of what that reveal showed, Resonance: A Plague Tale Legacy is definitely something to keep an eye on. Directive 8020 is shaping up to be an interesting horror sci-fi title. The story places you aboard the colony ship Cassiopeia, and when things go wrong, you find yourself crash landing on Tau Ceti F, a planet that doesn't feel safe at all. The team behind it is Supermassive Games, known for narrative-heavy horror games like Until Dawn and The Quarry. This time around, they're venturing into sci-fi horror with new mechanics. One of the cooler bits is the Turning Points system, which allows you to rewind certain decisions. That suggests they're adding more flexibility into how the story plays out. Release is planned for 2026, so it's still a ways off, but considering how clean the visuals looked in the initial trailer and how much story promise is in the reveal, Directive 8020 is officially on the radar.
This ship is infected with an alien organism. It still doesn't feel real sometimes.
Never forget why you started.
Lord have mercy.
Do you think Williams knows more about this substance than he's letting on? No! You can't take any chances with him.
It can manipulate its physical appearance. It's changing its cellular structure. It's replicating the human form. It's replacing us.
I know this will be difficult to hear, but if you're still out there, you deserve the truth.
Shall not flinch from crushing any insurgency or uprising with the inexorable.
It is a stark admonition to all who would presume.
Second Loop is an interesting one because the reveal showed a mix of mech action and physics-based gameplay you don't usually see together. You play as a pilot in a future city, controlling a large robot while also using tools that let you pull, rotate, or rebuild parts of the environment. The trailer had a clean look with rain-soaked streets and detailed lighting, suggesting the team is making the most of Unreal Engine 5. The developer, Kakaru Studio, describes it as a single-player FPS with sandbox elements. You can craft machines, use vehicles you build yourself, and interact with the world in ways that go beyond basic shooting. It feels like they're aiming for something creative, not just another mech shooter. If you like mech games with a bit of experimentation and physics-driven mechanics, Second Loop is definitely a title worth keeping an eye on. Reanimal is an upcoming horror adventure from Tarsier Studios, the original team behind Little Nightmares. The reveal showed a dark, unsettling island where two siblings try to escape creatures that look part human, part animal. The atmosphere is heavy but grounded, and slow camera movements that give it a familiar Tarsier vibe. One thing that stands out is the co-op option. You can play alone or with another player, and the game adjusts the camera depending on the situation. It leans more toward exploration, puzzles, and navigating tense areas while dealing with creatures that react to your presence. There's no exact release date yet. On Steam and console pages, it's listed as coming soon, so the game is still in development, but it already looks polished enough to grab attention. If you enjoyed the tone and pacing of Little Nightmares, Reanimal looks like something you'll want to keep an eye on. The Witcher 4 is still early in development, but the few things CD Projekt Red has shared already point toward a fresh start for the series. They've confirmed the game is being built on Unreal Engine 5 instead of their old in-house engine, which suggests they're aiming for a big visual jump and a smoother development pipeline this time around. The studio has also mentioned that this entry will kick off a new saga, meaning it won't just repeat Geralt's story. They haven't officially said who the main character is, but the reveal image they released, showing a medallion buried in snow, sparked a lot of discussion about the school of the Lynx and what direction the story might take. There's no release window yet, but CDR Red has been clear that it's a long-term project. They're focusing on building the foundation first before talking about gameplay or story details.
You can't change anything! The village! Disconnection! I was chosen to bring salvation! So thank you!
I've been watching you. You're not like other people, you know. You're quite unique.
Tell me what's going on.
Something important.
Oh, I'm scared.
Grace.
Resident Evil Requiem looks like a quieter, more grounded entry for the series. The reveal focused a lot on atmosphere and a slow build-up instead of jumping straight into action. It introduces Grace Ashcroft, an FBI analyst, which already gives the story a different angle from the usual agents and special operatives. Capcom is using the RE engine again, but the footage they've shown looks sharper and more detailed than past games. They also confirmed you can switch between first-person and third-person, which is a nice touch since both styles have strong fan bases. The game is planned for a February 2026. There aren't many deep gameplay details yet, but the mix of a new lead character and a slower horror approach makes it feel different in a good way. Requiem seems like Capcom is leaning back into tension and mystery rather than loud action, something longtime fans have been asking for. Grand Theft Auto 6 is already gearing up to be a landmark release in gaming. The latest reveals show it's set in the fictional state of Leonida, with the city of Vice City taking center stage again. This time with modern touches, and what appears to be a dual protagonist setup. Rockstar Games has announced a release date of November 19th, 2026. While delays aren't uncommon for their big titles, this one is being positioned as the next big thing in open-world experiences, which makes the wait feel more like preparation than frustration. There's a lot of discussion around the scale and ambition of the game, open map spanning cities, a possibly evolving world, and the return of the brand's signature blend of story and chaos. If the development vision matches what we saw in the trailer, GTA 6 could set a new benchmark for these kinds of games.